All right, guys, welcome. This is going to be a really exciting video. I'm really excited to be able to do this for you guys. This is a $1,000 fantasy basketball auction draft. 12 teams, standard settings. This is the biggest one I have ever done. For a lot of the guys that are going to be playing, it's going to be the biggest one they've ever done. So, one of the reasons why I think that you guys will love this video is almost all of the players I've played against before. These are not my friends. These are guys that I've played against in other cash leagues under different accounts. One of the guys to watch for is Jefferson, or it's spelled incorrectly. It's spelled Jepoy Sun, but it's Jefferson spelled correctly in the other leagues. He's a Chinese player, very, very strong, really good analytics background. I always see him as one of the really strong ones. Um, Andrew's pretty good, and we're going to keep an eye on the Dice Man as well. So excited about this. If you guys don't know, auction is very different than standard format. You're going to be seeing some high level play here. Uh, every player is going to be nominated. Once those players are nominated, everyone can bid. So in auction, it's one of the big differences over Snake. You can get the players you want. You know, you might get the wrong players. You might not get a good value, but you can get the players you want. Okay, first selection is up. We're going to see what kind of strategy the players use. There's a strategy to even how you nominate players. First player that's been nominated is Nikola Jokic. Very strong player. Was the consensus #1 player last year. That does not necessarily mean he's going to be the best player this year. Now, this is a $1,000 league. That means there's $12,000 in play. First place, I believe, is 6,000. If you win the championship, we've already seen the price go up. I would expect to see some people bid in the 70, 72 range for Joker. Now, we'll see if anybody gets gun shy because remember, this is a $1,000 league. This is the biggest league that a lot of people are going to play in. And I'm expecting to see some interesting competitive bidding. Everyone's got their plays. Now, you'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams have made a competitive bid on the Joker. He's just safe. If you get Joker, you can relax a little bit and you're not going to have to bid for a while because you've spent $70. $70 is a good price. You know, I don't think that you're getting value there, but you're definitely not overplaying for Jokic. I'm going to be targeting players in the mid-level. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, guys. This is my 10th team. Oh, man. I got to pause. I'll talk about my strategy later. We got a crazy one up. So this draft is being recorded the Sunday before the season starts. A couple things to note. One, Kyrie Irving has an O designation. He does not have an ING designation. That means unless you're in a team or in a league that has an IR plus slot, he's going to be a negative roster slot. I've seen Kyrie go for everywhere from $10 to $22 in auction over the last week. I'm personally going to be comfortable bidding about 16. I say that I might end up going over. I'm willing to carry that dead roster spot. I just don't think Kyrie Irving is going to give up $200 million. He'll give up about 16 million this year if he doesn't play, but he also will lose his extension. Total value about, there we go, Kyrie Irving, $13. Now, if you guys are watching this a month from now or 2 months from now, I'm either going to look like a genius or I'm going to look like I wasted $13. But I'll be honest with you, $13 is an amount of money you can waste, okay? We have $200. Every team has $200. So if you do what I'm about to do, I'm not going to target Steph Curry. I'm not going to target Joker, okay? I'm going to go for guys like Bradley Beal. I'm going to go for guys like Jimmy Butler. I'm okay with my most expensive player being Domantas Sabonis this year. And by doing that, I'm going to free up a little bit of money, and it lets me make some gambles. I'm going to be gambling on a player that I really like. I know Jefferson likes him as well. Jonathan Isaac, okay? This guy has league-busting potential, and he has that ING tag. Now, quickly, we'll talk about this Steph bidding as it jumps up to $66. I think Steph is basically just as good as Joker. He's a little less durable, a little bit more injury concerns, but he's probably going to be the #2 player in fantasy. I would expect to see him go for 68, 69. You're going to see players start to panic after the first few big names are off the board. Let's see. I am the last person to nominate So as it gets a little closer to my nomination, I'll talk nomination strategies. Giannis. Okay, whoever bids on Giannis is pretty much committed to going punt free throw. So we're going to make note, and this is something you guys should be doing as an auction draft goes. You want to be paying attention as the draft goes to which team has which players, because that's going to tell you who they need, and then we can start to execute the pump. Now, I'm not going to let anyone have Giannis for $51. That's just way too cheap. So now I want to check, and I want to see if there's at least two people bidding. Andrew 1000 is bidding, and the Four Horsemen is bidding. I can't let you have him for 53, man. That's just too cheap. There we go. I'm comfortable bowing out at like 58, but I just can't let other players get such a talented Giannis for such a small amount of money. I'm not bidding again. That's tough. If you go into your builds and sort by punt free throw, you'll see that Giannis is the top, second, third best player, depending on what variation of that punt you're using. At $55, that's an amazing price. Here's why I'm out on that, guys. There's no incentive for the Bucks to play Giannis 82 games. There's no incentive for the Bucks, and we see Jason Tatum on the board here. We're not going to let him go for 43, I'll tell you that. Tatum should be coming in the 46 to 50 range. So we'll go ahead and pump him up really quick, make sure people are paying full price. We're happy to get him here. Anything after this, we're going to back off. Check how many bidders there are. We got one bidder, two bidders. We're in one more time. I think I can pump him up here just based on how fit. You also kind of build out a tendency for how fast people bid as well. I think he'll go one more time, but I'm okay with having Jason Tatum as 50 as well. All right, Tatum's going to be our most expensive player. So now what I'm going to be doing, and this is the beauty of auction, you build kind of around who your core players are. So last year, Tatum was the 14th overall best player. I go into the player rater. He's the right age. He's the right level of health. I don't like that he played in the Olympics, but you can't have it all. Tatum's biggest weakness is field goal percentage and turnovers. He's also not that great at blocks. So if we're going to put together a field goal percentage based punt, checking in on Luca's price here. We're going to be looking at punt, field goal, punt, block. And when we go ahead and put field goal and block in, Tatum is the 9th best player. Kyrie Irving is the 7th, meaning we have two players that pair really well together. I have gone, you guys won't be able to see on the screen, but I'm making my list as we talk. And part of the reason I'm doing that is I'm going into the player rater and I'm putting my punt in. That lets me see who the increased values are. So in a build that is just punt, block, and field goal percentage, sorry guys, reading the messages in the chat board. James Harden is a monster. We're going to bid a little bit on Harden, but we're not going to keep him. Yeah, we're out at 66. Someone else can have him. So Fred VanVleet, we're going to start to build our lists. Horrible field goal percentage, good points, good assists, good everything else, no blocks. Devontae Graham is going to be our guy. And I like that because Graham has been so cheap lately. Kemba Walker is going to be one of our guys in this build. I do like the ratio for Kemba as well. And we're probably going to grab Oladipo. Got to get Mike Conley. We're going to have an older team as I start to build this list. You know, am I worried about the age of the team? No. But I'm noticing the age of the team. I'd like to get Beal to pair with Tatum. And I'm trying to figure out my pricing here. Now, guys, if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen where I'm clicking around right now, you'll see that I've loaded up a queue, and it's got projected prices on it. So with the two players that I've already purchased, Rudy Gobert is on the board. We just have to make sure that the guy who got Giannis does not get Rudy. And you'll see right there, I told you this, Andrew, before I even clicked on it, he has Giannis. He's one of the guys bidding on Rudy. Now, what is a fair price for Rudy? If the guy didn't own Giannis already, I'd say I'd let him go for 32, 33. We got to make him pay 36, 37 if he's got Giannis already. Now, If I get this dumped on me, that's okay. 35 is a good price for Gobert, and I'll be able to trade him later in the season for a guy that makes more sense. Wow. 35 is an excellent price. We're playing for $1,000, guys. I've already spent the most money. Yeah. Yeah. How does that feel? No, that's not true. Wow. The guy who bought Joker has spent more money than me on one player. Would I rather have Jason Tatum, Rudy Gobert, and Kyrie Irving? Yeah, I think I'd like that spread. Got to be really careful with my money now, though. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm recording this. I'm trying to talk to you guys. I'm also trying to plan strategy. It'll be really interesting to see. Okay, so we can't afford Butler with the money that we have left. We're probably gonna get one more of either Beal or Sabonis. And in punt blocks, Sabonis is a monster. So last year, in punt blocks, Sabonis was 43rd overall, which isn't gonna sound that good. But what you have to understand is, I'm moving this around. It's really hard for big men to be good in this build. Really, really, really hard for big men to be good. Yeah, man. Sorry, this isn't the most exciting part of the draft. We got Anthony Davis going for 48. He could win a league. Definitely could. CJ McCollum is going to be one of the guys that we go for. We need to get CJ. Last year in this build, CJ was the 17th best player overall. 16 because you really shouldn't count Kyrie Lewis. So I'm going to use this to kind of sort what my priorities are. Need to make sure we save money for Isaac. Need to make sure we save money for Devontae Graham. Need to get Kemba Walker in there. Fred VanVleet. Okay. So if we go Beal, Fred VanVleet, McCollum, we have $137 left right now. So let's say 42 for Beal, 32 for VanVleet. That's 74. With McCollum, that's going to be 80, 91. That leaves us about $45. I'm going to nominate a player I do not want, which is Joel Embiid. Try to get some money off the board. And since it was just my nomination and we don't want Embiid, we're going to go ahead and talk strategy. Nominate players you don't want. Nominate players that you think are hyped. I'll tell you what my next nomination is going to be. It's going to be Josh Giddey. I'm going to go ahead and get Josh Giddey out there. Or do I want to snipe him for myself? In this build, he might fit really well. Actually, we're going to try to get Giddey instead of throwing him out there. Rookies, Jalen Green is going to be a monster in this build. I do worry he'll be too expensive, though. I think Jimmy's going to go for over 35. He's going to be priced out of what we're trying to do. That's my thought process. Last year, a lot of people don't know this, but Jimmy Butler was a top 7 player in per game. Criminally underrated. He's already at 35. 3 teams have bid. Yeah. I think we would rather spend that money on Beal. Some people might be shy with Beal because he's not vaccinated, but he's playing in Washington. I don't really think that you're going to lose much more than 2 weeks, maybe, if he does get COVID. Well, this is a pump. I'm happy at Butler at 38, but I'm also happy to let someone else have him at 39. Butler was on our list originally. Okay, yeah. Now, if this player PG-13 gets Butler, which it looks like he's going to, yeah, he did. That's a great price. So that Butler price, and also Butler pairs really well with the Joker. Neither of them are volume 3-point players. He's probably going to be in punt 3-pointer. But watch this, though. I don't have the time to show you guys this, but Rudy Gobert is a monster in a punt 3-point build. He's actually like usually one of the top 3 players. So we could take our Rudy Gobert that we purchased for, what did we get Rudy for? No, not 13. Wait, we didn't get Rudy? Am I crazy? This whole time I've been talking like I thought I got Rudy. Oh man, this is gonna be the dumbest video ever. The other guy bit. I thought we had the 35. Oh man, see guys, I'm playing without sound because I'm trying to talk to you. That changes things. That changes things a lot. Okay, so all I have is Tatum and Kyrie. I thought I had Gobert. I was adjusting my list. Okay, all right. We want Beal, Van Fleet, and McCollum. That's what we want. Carl Anthony Towns is a $60 player. I have him as the fourth or fifth best player. I will take him for 56 and I will run. Run screaming. Guys, auction drafts are crazy. Auction drafts are crazy. I'm playing for $1,000 and I've changed strategies 4 times already. I do not think I have enough money to get Beal and build the rest of this team out, but I'm really liking my top three. I'm wondering if I need to punt field goal percentage. You know what we're going to do? We're going to lay off because we have $81 and we're just going to go best player available. And if we get caught hanging with a little bit of money out there, instead of going all in for Beal here, we're going to go ahead and bid 38. Jump it up real fast. See who's in, see who's out. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some value picks. Jefferson Sharp. He's got a lot more money than us. We might get stuck with Beal here. And we're going to be doing a stars and stripes build. I think I'm out here. Someone else wants to come in at 45. They have him. I'm happy at 44. I lied, guys. I'm bidding one more time. I don't care. This video might be horrible. You know what? This video is you getting to watch a man just fold on live TV as he second guesses himself. We got Beal for 46. No idea what I'm doing, guys. No idea what I'm doing. I mean, in punt field goal, Bill was 12th last year, technically 11th. That still gives us the 7th, 10th, and 12th best player. Plus whatever we get out of Carl Anthony Towns. He's still the 15th. We've got 4 players that were top 14, top 15 in our build last year. And now we have $35 to try to round it out. So who do we think we can build around this team for $35? We will not be able to afford Fred VanVleet. We probably can afford CJ McCollum, but it probably makes more sense for us to space that money out. And you'll see, guys, that we have spent a lot of our money, but we have not necessarily spent it in vain. We got 485. By the way, this tool is really helpful for you to just kind of get an idea of what your team construction is. We've got a 45 field goal percentage, which would put us pretty high. Remember, you can't really look at the other teams that only have 1 or 2 or 3 players. So, like this guy right here, he only has Rudy Gobert. So, it's not a team projections. It's just Rudy Gobert's projections. We can look at our numbers, though, with our top 4 players and get an idea of where we're at. 485 field goal is really good. We can add some bigs and be a really competitive percentages team. So I like that. Our assists are solid so far. As we go over here and I look at our team, all of our guys are averaging like 4.5 to 6 assists. Now remember, this is assuming Kyrie plays. If Kyrie doesn't play, we've got a 3-headed monster. We've got a little 3-headed Hydra here. And we can beat most guard teams with Carl Anthony Towns anchoring us. And we can beat a lot of big men heavy teams. This is going to be really good, actually. I'm going to act like I did this on purpose. I'm going to be able to focus for the next couple rounds on giving you guys commentary on the individual picks. Since I'm out of money, I'm sitting over here with $35. I can't really do much. So, I'd rather have the stars. I will say this. I feel like there's going to be so much value on the waiver wire this year that it's okay this year to have a more star heavy team. Balanced teams are great for making the playoffs, but star power wins you championships. And Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum, and Karl Anthony Towns is real star power. I like Tatum and I like Beal personally way more than I like Paul George. He has a really bad injury history, and he just wasn't the player that either of those gentlemen were. They were both, last year. Paul George was coming in 5 to 8 slots behind Tatum and Beal, depending on what your build was. And seeing Paul George go for 47 when we got Beal for 46, that feels good. That means that other players are not outvaluing us. And here it goes up to 48. Every additional dollar that's spent on Paul George from here on out is more value for us. Big value for us. Let's check out some of these other teams to see if we can see the strategies start to coalesce. So Andrew is the Giannis and Anthony Davis player. I think he got really good prices for Giannis, and I think he got on the money. If Anthony Davis is healthy, which I don't want to say, I would not want to have 25% of my money on the season in Anthony Davis. He's got chronic injury history. As I understand it, his Achilles condition is degenerative. Degenerative means that over time it gets worse. It's not something that even takes an injury. It's just going to kind of trail off. Muscleheads has Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, and Sengun. I'll learn how to pronounce him his sophomore year. I like Durant. I don't know if I like Durant at 51. Durant's going to sit. I mean, the Nets are one of the most conservative teams when it comes to injuries. He'll get a boost with Kyrie out, but I'm also, you see me, I'm betting that Kyrie is not going to give up $200 million, and by January, he's going to play. Here, okay, I just talk about Kyrie for a second longer. I don't think he's going to give up $200 million, okay? He can sit for a month, give up $4 million, and be like, hey, I did my part. My message is done. He loves basketball. This guy hoops. How do I feel about LeBron James this year? In certain builds, and without looking at this, the guys that are going punt, free throw, and turnover and or threes should be all over him. I don't think he pairs well with Joel Embiid, but Jefferson plays really well. He's a good player. How do I feel about Jefferson going in on Embiid as his most expensive player? Risky. 2 injury-prone older players for Jefferson. I like that. I like the fact that no matter how smart Jefferson is on the rest of this. Okay, I want to talk about Sabonis for a second. Okay, I am sad that I'm not going to be owning Sabonis in this league. I already own a lot of Sabonis. In my 10 leagues, I own 4 Sabonises. I would feel comfortable spending $42, $44 on Sabonis. The last month of the NBA season, he was the number one player. The number one player. You look at the Pacers roster right now, everyone's hurt. TJ Warren's hurt. No clear timetable for return. Karis LeVert has a fracture in his back, which I've never heard of before, but that doesn't make me feel great about him coming in and leading that team. Plus, Karis LeVert's always had an injury history. Justin Holiday is shaking off injuries. And their point guard, Malcolm Brogdon, he's got a shoulder issue. Sabonis is poised for a big year. The only thing that gives me just a little bit of pause is they switched coaches, and Rick Carlisle did not do the best job last year with Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, muscleheads, and another thing, as the draft goes on, don't look at how much money people have. That can be misleading. Look at how much money they have relative to how many slots that have been filled, okay? So Muscleheads has filled 5 slots, and he has $20 left. And over here, 1 second. I was checking a text message. Okay, so over here, we're looking at the guy that has filled 5 slots. He has $20 left. So we have, by using a little bit of math here, $15 to play on our next player, which is about CJ McCollum, and we would be even with him. Similar to how we paid cheap price for Kyrie, we came in for Kyrie at $13, which I'm very happy with. Again, I can lose there. Okay, I'm going to nominate a player that I do not want that I hope is expensive. I'm going to nominate Zion. I want nothing to do with Zion. I'll bet Zion goes for like $14. and it'll be to either Jefferson, who has LeBron and is committed to punt free throw, or Andrew 1000 would be my guess. Or I guess the Rudy Gobert owner. So there's going to be a three-way bid. This is okay, so why is Kyrie a good bet, but Zion is not? I'll make my argument for it. So, first things first, Zion is like 300 fucking pounds. I don't know, 280 pounds, 270. He's a big boy. And when he jumps, he's one of the most athletic people I've ever seen, which is a bad thing because when you're jumping, $14, $15 is the max. And we got Kyrie for 13. It's a great example of why I want Kyrie, but I don't want Zion. Okay, so Kyrie has had injuries in the past, but these are things like he hurt his ankle in the playoffs. He had his face broken. He had another leg injury earlier. Kyrie's going to miss 15, 20 games in a year. But he might sit out the first 2 months or 3 months before he decides he doesn't want to give up that $200 million. He's not going to get hurt in that time. So I think the odds of Kyrie being healthy for your fantasy basketball playoffs are the highest they've ever been. Meanwhile, with Zion, foot surgery, and he's gained more weight. We do not know when he's returning, and he's never really stayed healthy. He's never been able to stay healthy. $14, you're not risking the farm. I don't hate it. Who ended up buying Zion? Jefferson? Jefferson is the all-injury risk team right now. I think 33 is too much money for LaMelo. It commits you. Dice Man's a good player, though. That's his most expensive player. That kind of commits you to go in punt field goal percentage. Dice Man might be bidding up the same players we have in our queue. So all the guys that we're looking at over here, Dice Man might be coming hard after it. The good news is we only have $35, so we can't really get into bidding war with anyone. I would like to see us get one more player in the 10 to 15 range and then save the rest of our money for snipes for players that are specifically really good in our build. I'm also debating at this point if I want us to be a punt block field goal percentage team or I want us to be a I'm just making some decisions. I haven't fully decided what our punt's going to be yet. I have a feeling if we go punt, block, field goal that other players are going to be bidding against us. Let's go ahead and see if we see the other team forming. We're looking for the Harden owner. Don't see the Harden owner yet. We don't have to worry about Jefferson. The guy who owns Steph might bid against us. Okay. The Harden owner has only bought Harden. A lot of money, a lot of roster left. Bam Adebayo. How do I feel about Bam Adebayo? I think he's going to have a solid year. I do not expect... We saw a big leap forward between 2 years ago and last year for Bam. I do not expect to see an additional jump. So I would see Bam in that ceiling 20th best player, maybe 18th best player, floor 30. So in the $30 to $40 range. 40 is too much. In the $30 to $35 range, I think that he's reasonable. Who's getting him for 35? Dice Man. Didn't Dice Man also get Melo? He did. So it looks like he's poised to go for a well-rounded team. Bam's assists are going to drop this year. Now, I'll tell you this, guys. I don't think we're going to get out of the woods and there won't be another punt field goal percentage team. I think the Harden owner will end up getting in there. But something has happened in this game, and it is that Jefferson is going for some variation of punt free throw. And then the Rudy Gobert owner is also going for some version of punt free throw. And then I suspect that Andrew is going to go. So there's 3 teams that are going to be doing some form of punt free throw. If I'm right, then instead of seeing De'Aaron Fox go for 20 to 24, which is his, I believe, projected value. Let's pull up what his average value is. I think he's going to go about $4 over. I would expect to see Fox go for 25 to 28 here because 3 different teams are going to think he's a really good fit. I could be wrong. He goes for the money. That's a great price. If I was another punt free throw player, I would have bid that up. That is, I'll tell you guys this, $25 for De'Aaron Fox and $35 for Rudy Gobert. That is a $60 total. I just traded Karl Anthony Towns in another league literally for De'Aaron Fox and Rudy Gobert, and I included Kyle Lowry. So I probably sent $71 worth of auction value for that combo. In punt free throw and punt three, those two guys are just monsters. And it's really hard in punt free throw to get the guards. I just came up with a fun person for us to nominate next. We're going to nominate Ben Simmons next and see what people pay because it's not our issue. Man, this Fred VanVleet price makes me feel a lot better about Bradley Beal, though. $42 already. VanVleet's a monster in punt field goal. Who is bidding on him? Because that's going to be our competition. So this guy who hasn't bought anyone yet. This VanVleet price is too high. Wow, I'm jumping in the chat with Elias. Elias is a cool dude. European. $48. This is the highest I've ever seen. This is crazy. $49 VanVleet. Woo! Wow. I gotta send a snap of that to my buddy. $49 VanVleet. I feel better about. Oh, why do I feel better? Okay. VanVleet is on a team in the Raptors that is not going to be in championship contention. I mean, they could be a playoff team. I think people are sleeping on the Raptors, but they're not going to be a contender, not with the way the East is loaded. So that means shutdown risk if the team isn't going to be in contention. Also, VanVleet is an itty-bitty dude. He's really good at basketball, but he's barely 6 feet tall. I'm not going to Google his age right now, but he's getting closer to 30. I will Google it. I said I wasn't going to, but now I'm curious. I think he's like 27, 28. Michael Porter Jr., high injury risk, high scoring monster. I think VanVleet is 27, 28. I'm Googling it. I know this is not exciting. My phone's being slow. 30 is a great price for MPJ. In a punt assist steal build, MPJ is like a top 8 player. And I like that he went to the Harden owner because that tells me that the Harden owner might not be interested in full punt field goal percentage. Ooh, CJ's our boy, but we're going to be capped at like 14. Doubt we're going to get him. My phone refuses to let me know VanVleet's age. I'd say put it in the chat, but this is going to be, this is not being recorded live. $27. I was right on the money. Man, we like CJ. CJ is such a good player for us. If we go that punt, 17th best player. He's going to be a really good value, but we spent our money already. We gotta wait. We can't spend. Can we? No, we can't. We can't spend 20. For that money, we could probably get Kemba, Conley, and Jalen Green. Would be my guess. I don't have a strong opinion on LaVine. I have a strong opinion on a lot of players. Haven't developed one for LaVine. He scores a lot, so he tends to get a little overrated. I don't know how he's going to fit in with the Bulls. The thing I'd be the most concerned about is like he said a lot of stuff about like not being happy and wanting to be respected, and it seems like he doesn't really get along that well with the Bulls front office, which is crazy because they've gone out of their way to surround him with talent, bringing in Vooch, bringing in DeMar DeRozan. They made a lot of moves to surround him with talent. I don't think at $33 you're really going to lose any money, and also scoring is hard to get. Devin Booker's nice because Chris Paul is always an injury away from being irrelevant. And this is a good time in the draft as we just because I don't really feel like Booker's going to be a game changer either way. Good time for us to kind of look through the rosters and see how other people are doing. Muscleheads over here. He's going for value. He's trying to save his money. He's got 2 roster slots ahead of us. Anyone else have 4 players? No one else has 4 players. So as these teams start to get their fourth player, we'll be able to compare their banks to our banks and look roster to roster to see if we like their top four. It's our turn to nominate. Ben Simmons, let the war begin. I hope they spend a lot of money on him. He's probably going to be good value. Probably going to be a very good value. And Jefferson Sharp, I own 3 Ben Simmons so far in 8 drafts. I also own way too many Kyries and not enough Jonathan Isaacs. How many is too many Kyries? More than half of my drafts. How many is not enough Jonathan Isaacs? I own every Jonathan Isaac in every league I'm in except for 2. And I wish it was every single $11 Ben Simmons. Guys, Jefferson is going to be a problem. Well, I say that. It could be a problem. He's going to struggle with scoring. Zion's not going to play for a long time. I don't think Zion will be back before January. Embiid's man. He's got so much money left though. Jefferson's got $60 more than us. That's like 2 more really good players. But his top end talent is just not there. He also doesn't have any maneuverability, right? So he's already ruined his free throw percentage, and he's already kind of committed to a really, really weak 3-point. So he's a double punt all day. And then when you look at his turnovers, massive turnovers. So he's triple punt committed right now. I like his assist numbers. Jefferson's a good player. That's a good core. It's injury and health. And then one of the problems for Jefferson is going to be what happens when one more player gets injured, right? Because, but you know what? I mean, $11 Ben Simmons. I like this build. I'm going to check to see if I have another. I do not think I have another auction draft left. I think the last one's a snake. I have one more draft tomorrow. No, it's an auction. I'm going to try Jefferson's build tomorrow, actually. I'm going to try to copy this. Not the Embiid part, but I think replace Embiid with Sabonis, and it's like LeBron, Ben Simmons, Zion, Sabonis as like a core 4, and then use the money that's left over to go after scoring. Maybe De'Aaron Fox. I like that. I'm gonna try that. Jefferson's a really strong player. I always like his builds. Going back to us, we got 3 really young, really strong players. We don't have to get a punt. We're middle of the road on field goal percentage. We're elite. We're the number 2 team on free throw percentage. So we don't need to get a ton more there. Really good at threes. We're a good scoring team. This is including Kyrie's numbers, so it needs to be discounted. Draymond's going to have a good year. He's got that power forward center eligibility, but also incredibly high assist and steal numbers. Jefferson is going to be cleaning up. I worry for Jefferson, though, because if he gets Draymond, I think the dude is committed to punt points as well. Because unless LeBron is playing every game, Embiid is not. He's not physically capable of playing every game. He's going to lose. He's like a 5-4 team at best if Jefferson gets him. I don't think he's going to. I think Jefferson just wanted to pump him. He's not. Interesting if the Steph player would also bid. Russell Westbrook is a really good pairing with Draymond. Russell Westbrook and Draymond are like a match made in it's peanut butter and jelly. Player pairings are something that you see in auction, guys. Certain players pair well with other certain players. Another thing I'll talk about briefly is rare players, right? There's only like 2 or 3 bigs that play like Draymond. Larry Nance is like a neutered version of Draymond. Nurkic has some tendencies, but not quite the same profile. Really interested in this Chris Paul price. Chris Paul will be a top 25 player in per game. He's 14 in my build. I'm not going to pay most of my remaining money for him. $21's a great Chris Paul price. Who's getting him? Mark. Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker. I'm just unimpressed. It's a solid core. He's still got a lot of money left if he actually gets him. At 23, it's becoming less and less of value. Another thing that's interesting, guys, every time someone bids $1, they're really bidding $2 more for you to own that player because it's not increments of 1, it's increments of 2. So if you're at 21, someone bids $1 more. You now have to pay $2 more to get that same player. Chris Paul for 23. It's pretty expensive. I would say Chris Paul is less likely to be playing in your fantasy playoffs than Kyrie Irving. Barely. I want nothing to do with Shea. Shea's really good basketball player. I don't trust the Oklahoma City Thunder as far as I can throw them. I have a feeling already that Jefferson is going to rip Jonathan Isaac from our hearts. So we need to look for some other back-end discount players. We'll try to stash TJ Warren because we have a good percentages team. Also in this league, there's 3 ING slots. The waiver wire is going to be crazy this year. And another thing that I'm doing, guys, this is kind of a pro tip. I am checking my $27 is really cheap for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And the reason it's so cheap is these guys are all smart. They know that the Thunder can't be trusted. I'm going to put that in the chat. I think Anthony Edwards is a little overrated this year. 19's not horrible. Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to have a monster year. So I was just checking to see if post-draft you could add extra players or if you had to follow waiver rules. So about half the leagues I'm in, the players are available immediately after the draft, and sometimes they're not available until a couple days later following waiver. Jaren Jackson Jr. is just a monster. Oof. I almost went in on him. But we're gonna balance our roster out. This is $1,000 league, guys. Like, I am not a rich man. Like, I want to win. I want to win the $6,000. I don't want to just throw away my money. Like, second place is still like $3,000. You know, putting all that money in on 5 guys, and one of them's already Kyrie Irving. That means I gotta hope everyone stays healthy. I'd rather spread it out. I'd rather turn that $35 hopefully into several really rosterable guys. Just got an update as this draft is happening that Bobby Portis is ruled out for the opener. That kind of takes him off of my list of early or late round dollar targets or $2 targets. We really want to make sure that we're in on Jalen Green and Devontae Graham, I think. I don't think Terry Rozier will be at a price that we can afford. We can probably get Conley. We might be able to get Jordan Poole, but we'll see. I saw Jordan Poole go for $8 earlier today, which was just absolute insanity. I like Mo Bamba, but everyone else likes Mo Bamba as well. I do not hate Nerlens Noel. I do like Atlanta's Bogdan. These are the cheap players that you can round out a roster with that they're going to be really rosterable. One thing I'll mention, you guys, this is a good time for it as we see Christian Wood go for 20. Feels slightly underpriced. Looks like guys are holding back, which is bad for them, not for me. What will tend to happen sometimes is guys hold too much money in the mid rounds, especially in that $20 to $30 range. And you kind of go through, and once you get to kind of past Rashawn Holmes, if you look at this screen right now, I have it sorted by average price. Ayton, Middleton, Ingram, Turner, Holiday, Tobias Harris, Porzingis, John Collins, Rashawn Holmes, Jonas. Once you get past Jonas, there is a drop in the talent, and Jonas is going to have a monster year. There's a big drop in talent, and so you'll end up seeing guys spend more on your Robert Williams, Mikal Bridges, DeMar DeRozans than they should because they all missed out on the guys they should have got for the reasonable prices in the low 20s. My turn. I don't want these guys to have nice things. That includes Robert Williams. Robert Williams is really, really good, but he's really good at blocks. We're probably punting blocks. He has a hard time staying healthy. He does not score. The earlier you get him out, the more money he goes for. That's the kind of player that we don't. We have no interest in him. Doesn't help us. If we are in a matchup against an opponent that owns a Robert Williams, that's really good for us with the kind of build that we're going for, because so much of Robert Williams' value is concentrated in one category, blocks, a category that we don't care about. Christian Wood was cheap there at $20. I will say he scares me. Just watching him play, like the way he moves, his lanky movements, and he has weird falls, reminds me of a young Derrick Rose. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to stay healthy. $15 for Robert Williams. I don't think that was an overpay at all. Sexton has been overpay city in all of the drafts that I've been doing so far. Now, being said, a $250 league or $500 league is very different than a $1,000 league. So we'll see if the players are a little sharper here. I think Sexton's real value is in the $10 to $13 range. I saw him go as high as $20 earlier today. So scoring's hard to get in these later rounds. Sexton is probably one of the top 4 or 5 guys that's left. He averaged, it doesn't sort. He averaged, we'll be able to see after the draft. $12 is a great price for Yayas. Yeah, Sexton averaged 24 points per game last year, so you'll see that that's the most scoring that was available. Kawhi's not going to play this year. I have it sorted by points per game right now. So yeah, that price isn't terrible. Remember, these guys are sharp. Their prices are similar to where my prices are. You got to find that inefficiency. I wonder if we have enough money to swoop in on Jonas Valanciunas. That would make me very heavy on my Jonas bets. You know what? Rubio is one of our guys, and so is Tyrese Maxey. These are guys we like as sleepers. So we got Graham, Kemba. These are like on build. Isaac is for like total value. Conley's on build. Giddey's on build. Green's on build. Warren's total value. Rozier's unrealistic. Jordan Poole for under $4 is good. We Jordan Poole, you want to make sure you're the $4 bid. There's a big difference between being the $3 or $4 bid and being the guy that has to get him for $5. $5 is just an overpay for a guy that probably will finish the second half of the year a lot worse than he starts it. Start of the season, in this build especially, he could be really good. Kristaps in punt field goal percentage is just a goddamn monster. Goddamn monster. Not a healthy monster, though. Not a healthy monster. Jefferson's bidding on him. Jefferson is just, he'll be damned about health. He doesn't care. I also, he's got to balance. He's got to balance. I see what Jefferson's trying to do now. He's going for talent, health be damned, and he's spreading it out. So as long as a couple players are healthy, he has the ability to balance that out. So it looks to me like Get Your Zaza is going to be a punt field goal percentage player. Maybe not. 47% is not terrible. Maybe he's a punt assist player. Yeah, he's a punt assist player. Zaza's is a punt assist player. DeAndre Ayton's out there, $25. We've seen those prices go up a little bit the last couple bids. Like 24 for Porzingis, but only 20 for Wood. I think in some scenarios, that's tough. Porzingis and Wood is like, Porzingis is the better player per game, but he's one of the greatest injury risks in the entire league. Miles Turner, going to be a steal. Like, single greatest thing you can do in blocks is Miles Turner. He's just a block machine. Should go for over $25 if players are being reasonable. I've seen these 20 prices have been weird. They've been a little too cheap. So we'll see who thinks they need blocks. We're punting blocks 9 times out of 10 here. I haven't fully committed to it, but we're probably punting blocks is what I think. 27. Really makes the decision making easy when you see the words over your budget. I like to see this. It's cutting into the value. We can start to look at some other teams. We have less money than the other players. All of them? We have less money than all of the other players that have the same amount. So we're still broke. We're just beyond broke. We got more money than two guys, PG-13 and Muscleheads. It's not good enough. We're gonna have to wait until but you know, we got a lot of players in our queue. Remember, there's only 14 roster slots, so if you're looking at 9 or 10 guys in your queue, you still got time. You still got hope. A lot of money is going to come off the board in the next, 10 picks. I'd expect another $200 to come off the board. Mark just went big. So Mark is basically out. He's got $1 bids left. I like Holmes a lot. Holmes is a great example of like what I would call like a static player. He's so good at percentages and he's so good at rebounding and blocking shots, and he so doesn't pass the ball, take 3-pointers. Like you're gonna get, he hasn't turned the ball over either. Like you're gonna get the same production from Rashawn Holmes this year, I think, barring injury, that you got from him last year. His little injury update here. Doesn't look like it's anything serious. One of the craziest things is like, oh no, Andrew left the draft in the middle of the bid. I think he still would have wanted Holmes for 21 though. That's not a bad price. And remember, I said after like Holmes, J-Val's the last guy. J-Val and John Collins, I think we'd be comfortable bidding 20. I think we would. Just go out with 5 guys, 4 healthy for the start of the season. Build the rest of our roster with $1 players. It's more fun surfing the wire. If I go Collins, though, he does not fit anything that we're doing. So in a punt, field goal percentage, and block build, I'm going to pull it up right now. John Collins was 102nd last year. Let's see what Jonas was. 89. Just doesn't fit that at all. $20 is a great price. I think all right, you know what, guys? We're making a decision. I reserve the right to change it. God, that's a great price for Tobias Harris. I like Tobias a lot. Don't think he fits what we're doing, though. 46. Nope. That money would be better spent on 3 guys that do what we need them to do. Just like I was like unsure about Zach LaVine, I also have no real strong opinion about Lonzo Ball. One thing that's cool though is we can start to see people finishing out their roster. Like Mark is out of the game now. Let's go look at Mark's team real quick. Mark has the 3rd worst field goal percentage, which is good for us because he won't be bidding on the guys we're going after. Mark has the 3rd best free throw percentage. Mark, you can't really, because he has so many more players than everyone else, you can't really look at the scoring too much. I'll bet he's going to be a bad rebounding team. Yeah, pretty bad. So one player that's competing with us for bids potentially is out. Is there another guy? I think I do not trust the Harden owner. Harden owner is almost actually, yeah, the Harden owner is not going to be going punt field goal percentage. We might get away with murder here on the end of the draft. Dice Man, maybe. No, probably not. Yeah. Okay. Our competition's going to be Leonard. Leonard's going to be competing against us for a lot of the same guys, I think. Yep. Okay, we like Jalen Green, but at $5, we're not offering 6. We don't like him that much. He's a rookie. He's going to be in a great position. He's going to throw up a lot of points, but I think guys like Malik Beasley that you can get for $1 will do just about the same thing. Brandon Ingram is not one of our guys. You know, we will see how cheap Levert is, just because we have some rehab room. There's 3 injured reserve spots in this league. Gordon Hayward, it's crazy to me how he fits on like basically every build. I think price-wise for him though, we're going to be out. So really, Conley is a guy we have to get. My turn to nominate. We do not want Drew, so let's go ahead and get him out there. Drew should go for over 20. He's good. He's good in almost every build. He's just solid. Like Drew's always like a little underrated. He's also always really solid. I don't think anyone's ever drafted Drew Holiday and been like, man, that was a terrible pick. It's like you're at least going to pass the assignment. You might not get an A, but you know you're going to get the credit. Get Your Zazas has so much money. I think he's pun assist, which would mean he's competing with the guy who bought Collins. Yeah, prime time. 24. Remember how I said that at the top you would see some players that went undervalued and it would cause like an inflation? I think we're now in that inflationary period where, you know, you're going to see Jeremy Grant, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, Dejounte Murray. These guys are going to go for more than their average. Or we're just going to all end up spending $7 on Jordan Poole at the end of the $7 for Josh Giddey. The fact that Jalen Green went for, what was it, 5 or 6? 5 is a good Jalen Green price. It's not great. We need value. We only have $35. We need to protect our $1,000 buy-in. We have invested a lot of money in 4 core pieces, one of whom is Kyrie freaking, I don't want to get vaccinated, Irving. Again, I have 200 million reasons to believe he will play basketball this year. And if he doesn't, we just lost $13, which is not the end of the world. Karl Anthony Towns, Bradley Beal, and Jason Tatum are good enough on their own that, you know, we're gonna be competitive. And those guys are young, barring them getting an injury. I expect Cat and Tatum to have a better year this year. I think Beal will just hold serve, but I expect Cat and Tatum to really have stuff they're playing for, stuff they're trying to prove. Jakob Poodle. Where is he? Projected to be 7. Already at 12 and climbing. I thought that Poodle did better last year in limited minutes, but I looked at it and he was like at 27, 28 minutes per game. He's a big cumbersome guy. I don't know how many minutes he can play. Also, I had no idea how exhausting it would be to talk during an entire fantasy draft. So, you know, who's up? Reggie Jackson. I'm going to wait till the next nomination. If it's a player I don't want, I'm going to run really, really fast. And I'm going to get some more water and use the bathroom. So I'm going to be gone for like, oh, it's Jonas. I got to stay for Jonas. I think he's going to have a monster year. I would be very happy to spend $20 on him. I think someone else, like probably Jefferson, is going to see the same thing. I think he's going to go for like 25. You know, we're just going to run in like bandits for anything under 20. He's going to have a good year. I don't like that I tend to over-own the same players, but my beliefs are my beliefs. And if you're going to go big here. That's Josh. Let's see who really likes him. 17. Let's go. I like this price. Hold this price. Woo! Oh, man, he doesn't fit at all. At all. He does not fit at all in the punt that I'm trying to do. So now, you know, what do you do? You try to come up with a new punt that makes sense. Try to come up with a new punt that makes sense. Kyrie, Beal, So in punt block last year, Cat was 14, Tatum was 13, Beal was 12, Kyrie was 5. In punt block, Jonas Valanciunas was 41. I'm gonna have to trade Jonas. I think. I don't think he pairs well with these other guys. I like the price. What was the price? What was the price? What was the price? 17. Sorry for the long pause, guys. I have no idea what to do right now. I think I'm gonna ignore. I think I'm gonna stay the course and just continue with the field goal percentage and the block build. I love Jonas a lot more than Nurkic, and that price makes me feel better. You guys can, I think, see the chat in the bottom. I'm fading on my energy here, so if you're still watching the video this long in, man, this is. I guess have more waters for yourself. I'm gonna try to get more because I'm fading. Okay, we're back. $18 for Halliburton. Wow, it's almost like earlier I said that there'd be some inflation, and we're seeing that inflation right now. We're smack dab in the inflationary period. Whew, man. We're gonna try with our $18 that are left to snap some $2 and $3 players. So we're gonna do a little math here. The average bid feature is really helpful. Yeah, we only have $2 a player, so you know, Kemba Walker's probably out. Mike Conley's probably out. We're going bargain hunting to build around our top 5 guys. Severe bargain hunting. Well, the only good news about us having a $2 average is that there are. No, there's really no good news. 2 players, I guess we have more money than we can snipe 2 players. Jefferson's got a lot of money. He's going to have a super balanced team. What he's doing with it, I don't know. I don't know, but it's going to be super balanced. Who would be a player everyone would want? Pascal. Pascal's great because you think you're going to be able to get him in the $10 to $11 range here. He's like a $30 player last year. and then everyone has that ing slot that they can put them in. But the problem is everyone's thinking at the same time. A lot of people have money left. We should see Pascal go for like 16 plus, I think, because too many people are going to have money at the same time. Everyone's going to see that value. Everyone wants it. Could be wrong. Been wrong a lot of times this video, but it's a great price. Great price. I like Pascal more than I like Zion this year. I feel like I've had a very B minus draft, maybe C plus. Definitely not the best draft. I had a draft earlier this morning. It's been a long day for me. Drove back from Austin. I had a draft earlier this morning. It was probably the best draft that I've had this year. Got Steph Curry, got Kyrie Irving, got Sabonis, got Jonas Valanciunas. It's crazy draft. Every pick was like hitting exactly where I needed it to be. Get some caffeine in my body. We are way past half of the money being spent. We have spent approximately. It's about 100, 150, 230, 240, 300, 12, 200, 2,000. We've got about $300 left, and we started with 2,400. So the money is cheap. The values are there. This is where you can get some extreme values. Can we get those extreme values at $2, which is the price that we have? We can snipe. We can be really sneaky and snipe players. There are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players that we like. That's a good thing because there's another resource. So besides money, there's another big resource, and it's roster slots. I was in a draft earlier today for $250 where a guy had $25 left over because he had too much money and not enough roster slots. I do not think this is going to happen today with how experienced these players are. But one thing for us to look at is every team that hits the 7 players, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that have hit that 7-player number, those players are over the halfway point. Their rosters are halfway filled. So we've spent, what did I say earlier was less than $300 left. So we spent about 90% of the money, and yet we still have half of the picks to make. So these remaining picks are going to be really, really, really cheap. Also, it'll go faster because there's less money to bid. At the beginning, when like 25 people bid $1, that single player can go pretty high. Man, where is the money going to go? Because I've been seeing Mikal Bridges and Brogdon, Mobley. It looks like we're going to spend a lot of money on rookies, and we're going to spend a lot of money. I'm going to guess that a lot of my underdogs and my sleepers are also going to get bid up. Check those standings real quick. Remember, on the standings, if I have 5 players and another team has 7, that's not that great. So don't put too much stock in this, but it'll give us a good idea of generally. Our team's middle of the road field goal, the best free throw, above average threes, above average scoring, low middle rebounds, the single worst team in assists. Maybe we're a punt assist team and we just didn't realize it. Really bad at steals, low middle and blocks, really good in turnovers. We're an efficient team. I think we're just going to go like quasi best player available with snipes and try to get 4 or 5 little snipes, and then the rest will be $1 players. If we could get a Mobamba and like one of Conley or Walker, we'll probably get Devontae Graham, I think. Although this guy Leonard has a lot of money left, and he's also got a lot of bad field goal percentage players. Test. Should be pretty good this year. Not really flying high on my radar. Solid percentages guy. Does a little bit of everything. I'm surprised at where his price is at, to be honest. Hopefully, our list of guys that we're going for is different than everyone else's list. Jeremy Grant, a lot of scoring. Probably one of the better scorers that's left out there. Yeah, he's the single highest healthy scorer that's left. Because of that, I'd expect to see his price go up. We're also going to try to get in on Oladipo and Beasley, I think. Jeremy Grant, who wants that scoring? Everyone feels like, oh, I need scoring. I need scoring. $11. It's really on target. People have been really efficient with their money. I almost wonder if I'm going to look at my picks again. No, I do not. 46 was an overspend. No, I don't think 50 was an overspend. No, I don't think 56 was an underspend. I don't think I overspent anywhere. I think that other people have made mistakes, but I don't know where those mistakes are because I'm thinking that every single price is reasonable. I guess I'm just used to doing mocks with idiots where like it's too easy to snipe them, it's too easy to pump them. I'm also used to pumping players, but I don't have a stack. So when you have cash, you can just pick on people and constantly make them pay an extra $4 or $6. That's something I'm used to doing, and I'm kind of sitting here powerless because of how little money I have. Cade, let's get that $3 bid in. Someone will bid more. Yeah. Remember, you want to be the guy who snaps 3 just in case the guy goes for 3 or 4. You don't want to spend that extra money. So here's the trick here. We need to nominate a player we actually want, but don't want that much. I think people are going to bid on Hunter a couple dollars. No one else? That was a good snipe. I should have bid 2. That's what I should have done. I think I just got stuck with Tyler Hero and I hate myself. Please, someone take him off of me. I do not want him. I do not want Tyler Hero. Man, I'm going to regret that one. First real mistake of the draft, I think. It's not that $4 is a crazy amount of money. It's so many things, but it's that $4 could have been 2 snipes later that I absolutely needed. I don't own a Tyler. Yeah, he's so bad. He's so bad. Man. Well, Tyler Hero better become a monster because that is a horrible pick. I was hoping someone else would bid. Although, I mean, PJ Washington for $7. It's a weird part of the draft, man. When you actually kind of need guys on your roster, it gets super weird. Hero did have a big preseason, so maybe the offseason helps him. Maybe Kyle Lowry gets hurt. I don't have a ton of faith in him. But hopefully. Maybe it's his year. I think it was a bad bet. Kemba's our guy. We're not going to get him. But he's our guy. lost Kemba. Kemba fits what we're trying to do build wise really well, but his health is just not great. He was a crazy. What was his fit? 24th best player in that build that we were looking at. So getting a top 24, 25 player. You know, who that went to Zaza. Zaza's our other competition. I don't know what Zaza's is doing. We're not going to get Conley either. We want Conley though. I think if this goes through, we'll have like $1 left for every other player. Yeah. Bogdan's going to be our target. So Leonard, from a pot sizing standpoint, can spend $7 on every pick that he has left. Get your Zazas can spend $4 or $5. So the guys that we're going to be bidding against have more money than us, which puts them in the driver's seat, which means we have to reach deeper. I do think Rubio will be safe for $1. I think Beasley's probably safe. So that's 2 targets. We need 6 more. I don't think we're going to get a lot of these guys through. We're going to have to be waiver wire warriors, and we're going to have to really kind of rely on that, top 3 first round caliber guys that we have until Kyrie comes back. Again, I'm confident that Kyrie is going to come back by January, and this team will be a playoff contender for sure. And that's all you can really ask for. Seeding really matters. If we were getting into deep strategy, what would I have done differently? I don't know. Obviously Tyler Hero, I would not have bid on him. I got caught with one other guy, right? Yeah, just Tyler Hero. Yeah, that's the only one where it's like, man, I wouldn't have done that. Bog, everyone knows. God, all these values that you can find when you're playing mocks, the guys know when you're playing for $1,000. They know. You're not gonna sneak one past them. We've got a problem coming up in that we actually need to find a couple $1 players that we want to keep. We're running out of roster room. Jefferson's got way more money than us, so we know he's going to get Isaac. Unless he runs out of roster spots. What kind of roster does Jefferson have? The one that doesn't make any sense to me. It's just balanced with punt free throw. But he's bidding on D'Angelo Russell, so he doesn't want to commit to punting threes, it looks like. I don't know. Leonard just spent a lot of money, but he's still got more money than us. Just got offered a trade. We can talk through it live. It's a different league, so I won't be able to pull it up. Someone offered me Devin Booker for Zach LaVine. Why would I do that? That's like, no. Just put some effort into your trades, guys, if you want to make friends and get trades done. Just asking for a better player 1-for-1 when they do similar stuff doesn't make any sense. In that draft, I had the higher pick. I could have picked Devin Booker. No, yeah, if Chris Paul gets hurt, then you make that offer. I don't understand Wiggins going for 8. Someone's living in crazy world. I know what their punt is, but I don't understand it. Dice Man's pretty much running out of money though, which is a good thing. Dice Man is pump points, if I've ever seen it. As a pump points build. Pump points, pump free throw. Huh, really interesting. 14 for Rocco, a.k.a. the Lord Covington. That gets rid of a lot of the money from Leonard, who we were worried about. Jefferson's still going to snipe us. but then he went for Gafford. Although I'll bet this, I'm over here looking at people like, what? Their build doesn't make any sense. But then look over here at my team, and it doesn't. There's no clear rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. There's no big deficiency. Balanced team. When my team gets a hot week, it can definitely beat people 7-2. Bid max. Jefferson is in love with Boucher. He got him last year. So I was hoping Isaac. I don't think I'm going to get Isaac in this draft. Um, but I was, I was hoping that Isaac could be. Yeah, he's still there. I was hoping that Isaac could be my Boucher from last year. But just too many people are aware of him. I'm not going to get Spencer for $1, but I also don't really like Spencer, and I think that people have been overvaluing him. I also like the idea that people that are in similar builds to me will bid on Spencer, like this guy who's in a quasi punt field goal percentage build. That means there might be some more money for me to get a Giddy or a Devontae Graham. Jefferson is still rich. I think he saved a little too much money, actually. I don't think he's going to need the full 35. But if you get your players, you get your players. He's going to have. See, I want to say he's going to have a monster team, but then I look at it and you better have a healthy Embiid, because if healthy Embiid goes away, man, that's team's going to struggle to score. And it's going to be a while before Zion and Boucher come in. If you look, when you load up all your injured reserve slots, as I will be doing for sure. Damn it! Damn it! Foiled. I knew it was going to happen, but it still hurts. Jonathan Isaac. Taking a picture for my buddy who can't be here. Sad noises. Brook Lopez is so good. Yeah, that's right. Come on, guys. Get that money out there. I like Brook Lopez because he gives you some rare stuff. Like, he's going to give you a lot of good free throw shooting, 3-pointers made, and blocks. And, like, the guys that give you blocks and threes, it used to be super rare, but it's still pretty rare. Still hard to find. They're not everywhere. Brook's super consistent. Also, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so he was drafted by the Nets. I have a special affinity. Get that $2 bid in. Someone else, he'll go 5 or 6, but I like to get the $2 bid in. Jefferson's gonna have a lot of money left over. Well, maybe not a lot, but he's gonna have money left over. I wouldn't be upset about Ori Markkinen either. I like Keldon Johnson. T. Ross makes sense for us as a dollar player. Well, Levert was not gonna go cheap on a stressed back fracture. I don't know if I like that money spent. Also, Jefferson's loaded his entire IR slot up. So 1, 2, Ben Simmons is going to be an O. So he's maximized his injuries before Embiid or LeBron starts to sit. So what happened to Jefferson last year in the bigger league that we played in, $500 league, he did a similar strategy, which again, I like the strategy. What I don't like is the spacing of the money. So I like lower level bets, like maybe a Klay Thompson or a TJ Warren. When you're putting like 40 or 60 of your $200 in an auction into players that are going to sit on your injured reserve slot, when other players get hurt, now you're in a situation where you're not good enough to make the playoffs with all of your slots filled and a dead space. So who you're cutting? You're now cutting players. I'm okay with cutting a $3 player or a $2 player to make room for my first rounder that needs to be on the IR slot. I'm not comfortable with doing it when it's my third rounder. We can snipe one, two, three, four, 5 players. So we've got 5 players of sniping. I can already tell you what this team name is going to be, though. It's going to be Tyler Hero. Because I need a nickname for each team so I can remember them in the app. And this will be the only time that I'm drafting Tyler Hero. Ugh. Ugh. I'm sorry this hasn't been more action packed on the bidding, guys. I really blew my load early. We'll see if it's a good team. I think it's a good team. It's definitely not a bad. One of the good things about buying a bunch of first round caliber players is like unless you get just massively injured, you really can't have a bad team. Whereas when you go for a bunch of mid level guys, you'll probably always have like, I guess there's just different ways of looking at it. I prefer to get the top level guys because then you have room to fish for waiver wire talent as it emerges. Um, I also like we've got one, two, three, four. We've got about 10 or 11 guys that we like. Um, our guys are not being thrown out there, which makes me think that we might be able to do some snipey snipes, no sniping. Also, some rosters are starting to fill out. I think Jefferson might go out with cash left. We nominate next. We gotta be really careful. We're gonna nominate Barnesy. Really solid guy. We're happy to keep him. Don't think we will. Another thing, guys, I don't think I've mentioned it if you're watching this late in the draft. When you're playing a 14-team draft, and then there's 4 IR slots, which is like this league, you have to remember that these drafts are going to go super deep. So 12 times 14, I'm going to pull my calculator out because I'm just exhausted. 12 times 14 is 168 slots, and then you add in 48 more slots because of the IR slots, and that's 216. That means that the waiver wire expectation after this draft is over is that that guy on the waiver wire is going to be like the 190th to the 200 and something best player. That's not great. That's not good. Um, so you really want to do better than that if you can. So if you can get a guy that's like the 150th best player for $1 here, just massive value. Also, we want to check real quick, just to verify. Kyrie Irving will live in our injured reserve O slot. We have no other injured players, so if possible, we need to get Thomas Bryant's a guy we want. People that have that ING designation that are going to stay there for a while. I think Fournier's garbage. I mean, he's a top 100 player. Thibs will run him into the ground, but he doesn't really fit any builds that I like. Garbage was harsh. That was harsh of me. People will be like, hey, why not $1 on Kawhi? Why not $1 on Jamal Murray? I don't think that the odds of these guys playing by the fantasy playoffs are great. And there's just other guys that have more upside. I like Andre Drummond too. I doubt we'll get him. I'll snipey snipe so fast if he gets nominated. But I like Andre Drummond, and here's why. I don't like Embiid's knees. They're not the bee's knees. They're Embiid's knees. And they're not great. My friend, you can have Nick Claxton. That's all you. Nick Claxton has a lot of talent, but the Nets roster is just. Oh, I want Aldridge. Yes, I do. Yeah, I like Blake Griffin too. And I like these guys as my last $1 bids because they got first week matchups that I like. The Nets have a good schedule. I like Otto Porter for the same reason. Dwight Howard's worth $1 end of the day. Again, these are the only being added because you want them on your roster for that opening day, opening week. It's really complicated. If you're watching this, this is not a strategy that you can use for yourself because the video will be up before opening week, but something for you to consider. I got the $2 bid in, didn't I? No, I didn't. We knew Giddy was going to go for more. And these guys got Four Horsemen has so much money left. So much money. I don't know who's going to spend it on. Get your Zazas is out now. That's got to be all of his. That's his max bid. $9 Josh Giddy. We're living in crazy land. Even if he's good, which I think he will be, not $9 good. Plays for the damn Oklahoma City Thunder. They just shut healthy players down. Who does that? They do. Oh, I want Precious. I like a lot of these guys actually. Oh, if he's hurt, I don't want to. I need ballers, shot callers, 20-inch rims on the Impalas. Keldon's too expensive tonight. I hope the Four Horsemen didn't think he was bidding me up. See, okay, this is a great example. Four Horsemen buddy is gonna get free. Well, I was gonna try to show you something, but I still think the Four Horsemen's gonna have too much money left, even with someone doing what he wanted them to do. Wasn't Primetime one of the guys I was worried about? Yeah, Primetime was one of the guys I was worried about. Not that worried about him looking at him right now. I mean, it's a good team, but I think the top level talent, like Harden's a monster, MPJ's less of a monster. And then these are just really good players. Whereas, like, I have four monsters. If Kyrie plays, that's monster, 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 monster. And I think Jonas could be a monster this year. Just make sure we are still recording. We are. This video is going to be like, what, 2 hours long? Hour and a, it's we're at an hour and a half right now, and you can just see me deteriorating as that lack of sleep and exhaustion. Maybe one person will we missed it. We want to be that $2 bid. We don't want to be the $3 bid or the $4 bid. Make someone make a hard decision with limited money. Four Horsemen, buddy, you got a lot of money. You're running out of roster slots. We actually saved a lot of money. We can start sniping some people. Can we snipe everyone? Oh my god. We can snipe everyone. We're actually rich. Dice Man has as much money as us. Primetime, but yeah. We're in a really good position here. We can start sniping. Yeah. So okay, here's what's gonna happen, guys. And I just realized this, and I'm now energized. We have, I'm just ballparking. I don't know, 14 guys that we like that are left, and there are 5 roster spots on Four Horsemen, who's bidding right now. 6 roster spots for Primetime. And why is he saying the layers? Where's the layers? Oh, Jefferson. Jefferson still has money too. we like Steven Adams too. Is it our turn to nominate? We can snipe like every team except for three, and we've got like 15 that we like on the snipe list. So we're gonna get 4 or 5 of our guys, just because of roster slots. So we'll get them for $2, which is incredible. As long as we're disciplined enough not to bid over $2. So this is where patience can really pay off. We've got the guys that we like on our roster, and we can just sit down, calm down, and know that the roster spots are going to help us. Four Horsemen's tough here because he's going to bid like I don't know $1, $3. He's going to get stuck with whoever it is. Well, Noel, I like Noel. Remember, we're disciplined, and you're like, "Oh, Josh, you just bid $3 or $4." Yeah, but I knew for a fact that Noel was going to get bid up by two guys. Remember, they don't have money, or they don't have roster slots. They have more money than they have roster slots. Ooh, very nice. Tempted to bid $2, but I will not. I will not. Or will I? I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna get the guys I want. Nance doesn't score enough. We're gonna have problems scoring anyway. He is a good pump block center, but I'm not sure that we're pump blocks. Mo Bamba. That's the guy. Everyone knows about Mo Bamba in this draft. Look at them go. I like to see these rosters start to close out. Get your Zazas. Is probably going to get Killian Hayes here. That roster closes out. Again, our little list over here is untouched. Really want to get Precious. Really want to get Drummond. Really want to get Jordan Poole. Dice Man probably wants a piece of Drummond. He's got exactly as much money as us per player. Get another roster slot off the guys with more cash than us. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. All right, he's good. Jefferson has one more $6 player. The Four Horsemen has two more $8 players. So that's 3 slots ahead of us. Everyone else we can bid even with. We're in the game for all of these players that we like. See, I would normally grab Bobby Portis here. I think he's going to be really good, but he was just officially ruled out of the opener. How do we like his draft? Injured Matisse Thybulle. I don't know about that. This is the guy's punt points. I don't know what he is, but he's got Matisse. I don't know what he is, but he has a Matisse Thybulle. Fucking Robinson's a good $1 bid. But we're get our guys. We're gonna get Rubio. We're probably gonna get Maxey. We might get Devontae Graham. We might get TJ Warren. We're gonna round it out. We're gonna round it out. We're gonna get some guys. Get some guys. I wouldn't be mad about Clay. Might get Clay. Okay. Right now, it's really important that if a player comes up that we like, we snap that $2 bid. We just jump in there with the $2 bid. I like Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross is going to have a great year. He's also going to get dropped 4 or 5 times by impatient people. He's also not worth $3. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not, $2 was on the line, but there's better players that we're looking at. I really want Andre Drummond. We're going to nominate, our next player we nominate needs to be a player that we actually want in our opening roster. I'm going to go Rubio here. Okay, so I like Rubio, but one, I think I might get him for $1 here. And two, I like a lot of other guys on my list right now more than I like Rubio. So I love him at $1. Love him, love him, love him. We got our guy, and we preserve the money. Now our average bid goes up a little. We have the most money left except for the 2 shots that the 4 Horsemen gets to take off of us. We're in the driver's seat. We're going to... And remember, money matters, but it only matters when other players have money. If you can wait till that part of the draft where you've got your guys coming, $2 gets them. You get every single player for $2. Well, okay, that's not true. One more of these guys. So like Dice Man and Primetime, they can snipe one guy from me. So there's like 5 total blocks. There's Pool. We got the $3 bid. I think we're winning. We're winning. We are winning at 3. Elias takes it. That's okay. He gets 2. He gets 2 of those. That's his right. Jordan Poole is good. He will fade as the season goes on. I like that little move on Jefferson. He's going to have like $10 left. All right. Elias is gone, and so is his $10. We are rich. We're going to get our guys. We do not want Danny Green. So ranking these guys that I'm looking at, we probably want TJ Warren up there. Drummond's a guy that we really need to get. Got Devontae Graham. And I think we got Tim Hardaway Jr. too. Let's get Drummond and get out. And we're pretty happy. Yep, we're very happy. I am worried that Dice Man's not going to let us have Drummond. But, we'll make him spend a bunch of money. Drummond's the only block he has there. Gone. He's only at $1 bids. We're going to round out this roster nicely. We're going to get Warren and Thomas Bryant. So, okay, we wanted Otto at $1, but we don't want Otto at 2. And we want Maxey. 4 roster slots left. I'm looking at Drummond, Maxey. I'm looking at Drummond more and more. Drummond, Warren. Like Precious for 2. Don't nominate guys you want first. I think Steven Adams is going to have a great year. Doesn't fit my vision for my team. So we get 2 snipes and a selection. I think Drummond's a snipe. I think Drummond's a snipe. Maxey's a snipe. And then we'll get Warren for $1. I think. Don't know. If it's Drummond, we snipe. If it's Warren, we snipe. If it's Bryant, we wait. 2 snipes left. Oh, I like Klay Thompson too as a snipe. We don't have an injured player yet. Is that right? That's right. We don't have an injured player yet. So these last 3 really need to be Drummond and 2 injured players. Damn, we're gonna lose Maxey. We don't have enough roster spots. I also think that Dice Man will come in on Drummond. So we'll probably lose Drummond to the bid and then get Warren, Thompson, Maxey. Does the Dice Man want him? Wait, Dice Man ran out of money? Who did he buy? Who did he buy? I thought he had money. I'm so confused. I could have sworn the guy had money. Drummond's gonna go for $2, I think. Just gotta be that clickety click snap snap. Not Isaac Okoro guy myself. Oh. Drummond, Warren, Thompson. We're gonna go ahead and get Warren now. Which will leave us with 2 slots. Drummond is the guy we're hunting. And then we will take. Ooh, I like Plumlee. That's tough. Man, Plumlee is a good player. Not. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. Let me check my team out real quick. I'm gonna get Drummond though. I like Plumlee a lot there. I got Drummond. No, he got him. No. We'll live. Clay and Maxey. We gonna let him go. Let him go. Do 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 do. Let him go. Let him go. Do 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 do. I don't care. I'm gonna get Clay Thompson and Maxey. There's my Clay. Does anyone have more money than that? No, right? Yeah, no one has more money. Yeah, I get Clay for 2. Then I get Maxey. Pretty happy. Do 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 do. All right, my team is middle of the road and field goal. Pretty good free throw. Pretty good threes. Pretty good scoring. Middle rebound. Middle assist. A lot of flexibility. Tyrese Maxey. $2 nominated. We're done. That's our team. All right, guys. We'll stay a little while later, even though I'm exhausted and it's been almost 2 hours. Wow, this video. Oh, I don't think anyone's ever going to watch this far. If you're watching this far, jump in the comment section. Tell me what you think of the draft. Tell me if you think it was good, it was bad, what you would have done differently. I think we all think that Tyler Hero pick was a tragic mistake. According to this system, I have a very middle round team based on last year, based on projected, below average. So yeah, I think that it's kind of reflected here that I have Kyrie and I'm still not projected to be that great of a team. And in 2021, I was still run of the mill. So, my gambles are going to have to pay off. Some of the guys that I got are going to have to be on the upswing, and we will see what it looks like. So, how many more picks are there? 2, 3, 6, 7. 7 more picks. Sean Tate makes a lot of sense. Ugh. I like my star power though. Having the 3 stars and Jonas to start the season. Hopefully Kyrie joins them. I think I have 3 first rounders in Cat, Tatum, and Beal. I love them a lot more health wise than I love like Kevin Durant or Embiid, guys that are a little older that usually go ahead of them. Alex Caruso, that's kind of a meme pick. Meme, M-E-M-E. Let's see. Are any other guys out there that, yeah. So once this roster is done, I'll probably be looking at Kevin Love if he's still out there. Swap some guys over to injured reserve, make some auction bids, and we got a squad. We got a team. We'll take some pictures. It's always a good idea at the end of the season to take some pictures, get an idea of how your team's final performance looks. Again, we look below average, so we got work to do. It's going to be a fun season. $1,000 on the line. How do we get to first place? We will find out. Come on, guys. Get these last picks done. Poku. I love the Poku upside for $1 there. All right, we finished at 8.5. Take a picture. Team is middle field goal, top free throw, middle to high, high, low, low. We're basically punt steals accidentally. Punt steals and blocks. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Punt steals, blocks. All right, guys. This exhausting marathon of a video has concluded. I hope you enjoyed something about it. I will see you next time, and I'll let you know how the league goes with progress. $1,000 league. You saw a draft. High expert level.